Soil is optional. Most people are starting to accept that. But these 5 plants go further. Take the soil away, and they actually improve. One of them is an herb already in your kitchen, and in water it produces more flavor and aroma than it ever does in a pot. That is also the least surprising result on this list. Each plant here has a specific, documented reason why water is the upgrade, and the list ends on one that most people have kept in a pot their whole lives, never knowing what it was actually capable of. The jar of water came first. The bag of soil came later, with a product category built around it. By the end, reaching for soil will feel like the more complicated choice. Number 1. Tradescantia zebrina. Most plants make you wait. Tradescantia zebrina gives you roots by morning. Every node along the stem carries pre-formed root nubs. Place a cutting in water, and within 48 hours, white roots are already pushing out from those nodes. You can watch them forming. By morning, the system is already building itself. The speed has a reason. Tradescantia evolved in environments where cuttings regularly broke off and landed near water, so fast rooting was survival. What that history produced is a plant with 2 distinct root architectures, a sparse one for soil and a denser, more branched one for water. In the right conditions, the better version activates overnight. The vines trail longer in water than they ever do in a pot. The purple and silver patterning deepens under the same light that would bleach it in dry soil. Change the water every 3 to 5 days, and the plant handles the rest. Tradescantia has been passed between gardeners as cuttings for generations, person to person rather than product to product. Everything about growing this way was already figured out long before there was anything to sell alongside it. The plant that comes next has been sitting in pots across every living room for decades. What almost no one realizes is what it does when the soil comes off. Number 2. Peace lily. Peace lily is one of the most common indoor plants on Earth and one of the most misunderstood. Most people have grown it the same way their entire lives, in a pot, in soil, watching it put out the occasional bloom, and assume that is the plant performing at its best. Wash the soil off the roots and put it in water, and what happens next is genuinely hard to believe until you see it. What happens during the transition is unusual enough to be worth understanding. When peace lily moves to water, the soil roots dissolve. Real roots, built for dry ground, break down over 3 weeks, while a different architecture grows in to replace them entirely. The plant constructs a new foundation and then carries on as if nothing changed. Because for peace lily, nothing challenging did change. It evolved on tropical rainforest floors, where permanently damp conditions are simply home. The soil pot is the adaptation. Water is what this plant already knew before any of us started keeping it indoors. The transition. Wash all soil from the roots thoroughly. Place in water. Change every few days for 3 weeks. After that, a weekly change is all it needs. The white spathes keep forming. The root structure visible through the glass is unlike anything a pot ever shows you, and it is one of the genuinely beautiful things about growing this way. A plant that blooms without soil tends to stop conversations about whether any of this is real. Most people who try it describe the same reaction. They wish they had done it sooner. The herb most people keep in a small kitchen pot produces less flavor there than it ever needs to. Move it to water, and the output changes noticeably. The reason comes down to how the roots breathe, and it has been documented consistently enough that it is no longer a matter of opinion. Number 3. Mint. Mint has been grown in kitchen gardens for thousands of years, one of the most consistently used herbs across human history, and research on hydroponic herb cultivation keeps arriving at the same finding. Mint grown in water produces higher concentrations of its essential oils than soil-grown mint does when nutrients are maintained. The mechanism is root oxygen. In soil, roots compete for oxygen with microbes, drainage rates, and however fast the medium happens to dry out. In water, the root system absorbs oxygen directly and continuously. The plant takes the energy it would spend navigating soil and redirects it into leaf production and oil synthesis instead. More growth, stronger smell, more flavor per leaf. A grocery store bunch is enough to start. Strip the lower leaves from a sprig. Place it near a bright window. Change the water twice a week. Within 10 days, you have a rooted cutting, producing new growth. Cut what you need, and the plant branches in response, creating more growth points with every harvest. The jar can sit next to the stove. Everything mint produces is higher in the medium most people would reach for last. Most people keep arrowhead plant on a shelf in a pot, watch it put out an occasional new leaf, and assume that is just how the plant grows. It is a reasonable assumption. It is also the wrong one. Number 4. Arrowhead plant. Syngonium in soil grows in pulses. After watering, new leaves push out. Then, the soil dries, growth slows, and the plant waits for conditions to return before it can continue. That pause is so consistent that most growers read it as the plant's natural pace. It is actually a constraint built into the pot. In water, the cycle disappears. The root system, which develops from the same aerial roots Syngonium uses to climb in tropical environments, runs without interruption. New leaves come at a pace most growers have never seen from this plant in a pot. The color deepens. Growth becomes continuous, rather than something that happens in bursts and then stops. Syngonium evolved to climb in humid, permanently moist environments. The wet-dry cycle is something it adapted to in a soil pot rather than a condition it was built around. Water removes what the pot was imposing, and the plant responds immediately, which is how you know the constraint was always there. Change the water once a week. The aerial roots establish the system. What grows from there tends to surprise every grower who tries it, because it looks like a different plant from the one they had been keeping on the shelf. Number 5. Pothos. Pothos closes this list because it carries the longest evidence trail of any plant in water culture. NASA researchers tested it in 1989 for its ability to remove formaldehyde from sealed environments. It is among the most replicated houseplants in hydroponic research. Generations of growers kept cuttings in glass jars on windowsills long before anyone had a word for what they were doing. It is the plant almost everyone already knows, and almost everyone has grown below its actual potential. In water, pothos builds thicker, more branched roots designed to pull oxygen directly from liquid. The vines trail longer between water changes than almost any other common houseplant. The leaves stay cleaner. Fungus gnats, one of the most persistent frustrations of indoor growing, disappear completely when the soil does. They have nothing left to breed in. A cutting, a clean jar, a weekly water change. Pothos is last because by the time you reach it, the list has already made the argument. What this plant adds is the proof that goes back furthest. Growers who never called it hydroponics kept cuttings in jars because the cuttings kept thriving. The products and the schedules arrived later. The jar of water was always there first, and it was always enough.